Well, good evening, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here alongside Caleb. Say hi, Caleb.
Hello.
We are Michigan Storm Chasers here with a winter weather briefing for the synoptic system coming through, starting tomorrow afternoon and going through Friday afternoon. Before we get started here, I'm going to take a look at the comments. Welcome some of you guys in. Hello, Crocker, Danielle, Leonard, Carol. Julie's in here as well, one of our mods. Sue, Kelly, Blue Devil, and Alan. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button if you're just tuning in tonight. And feel free to share the stream with your friends and family as needed. But today we're going to go through what's supposed to come for impacts and just go over some of the snowfall amounts and obviously some of the models here and what we're thinking. So first off tonight is this product from the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, for 24-hour probability of snow. There's different amounts that it runs through, and it goes through kind of the different totals here. So this right now, what you're seeing in your map is a probability map, of course, from 0 up to 95%. And this is of 1 inch. So this time you're seeing on the screen right now is between right now, the current time, 7 o'clock tonight and 7 o'clock tomorrow night, of 1 inch or greater. Now, if we move this into the future here, as my computer runs really slow, hopefully it doesn't crash it. We're going to go ahead and fast forward to this 24-hour slot between tomorrow night at this time and Friday night at this time. So this is the probability of 1 inch of snow between Thursday night and Friday night. And I guess you could say Thursday as well. As you can see here, pretty much the entirety of the state is expected to see at least 1 inch tomorrow. The probabilities are going to be lower down there in southern Michigan, where we could see a little bit more warm air advection come up from the north. And that would introduce actually a rain-snow mix to areas along and south of 94 tomorrow. Now we're going to go ahead and increase it to 2 inches here and see what it changes. Obviously, it's going to be kind of the same, except the probabilities are going to go down. You can see there with some convergence and some south-southeast flow there on Lake Huron. That is the bullseye right now for any high amounts in the lower peninsula. And we'll show that here in our snow map here at the very end before we take questions. So again, this is going to be pretty much anywhere outside of southeast Michigan has a greater than 50% chance to see 2 inches tomorrow, as well as the UP up there and in the Porcupine Mountains and the upslopes there in Marquette County. To see 2 inches. And again, some of this system will swing through, and then you'll have some lake effect building on the backside. We'll go over that here as well in the models to come. Now we're going to jump it up just to 6 inches just to see the probability, because that is the high end of our snow map totals that we introduced this afternoon on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers. And you can see not too many areas are projected to get that high end 6 inches. Other than what we just mentioned, the Lake Huron coastline up there in northeast lower Michigan, where we could see some lake effect banding take place. So again, we're projecting right now for most places to stay south of 6 inches. But again, 6 inches and higher cannot be ruled out for the place you see on your screen. We won't go up to 8 inches, 12 inches, because that's just kind of out of the range, you could say, for this synoptic snow system. We referenced the HREF earlier today as well, which is just a combination of 9 different models here for snowfall amounts for this entire state. And once we get into the model runs here, the precipitation, we will actually see where the low track will potentially go from these models. But we'll go ahead and fast forward this for our entire time frame here. Anywhere where you see these dark blues on any of these models, that's going to be your 4 to 6 range. The HRRR was the one that came in hot, as well as the NAM high res. And those models were the ones that we referenced throughout this afternoon when we were making our maps. Some of them that are running colder would be, especially for Southeast Michigan, also would be the NAM 3K, as well as the HRW, all the HRWs, I would say, as well as the FV3, mainly on the bottom row of counties there. And you can see here actually in the HRRR and the NAM nest, those bandings that do take place on Lake Huron, and perhaps along the Lake Michigan shoreline where some convergence could take place. So that's what we referenced this afternoon. Now we'll go over to the College DuPage website here to look at what the precipitation could look like on radar through tomorrow. And again, we'll go with our HRRR, handy dandy trusty one to start. I'm going to switch up to our Great Lakes region here. So not everybody is, or some now everyone is shown. So right now, throughout the evening, we're going to have some lake effect snow perhaps some spotty freezing drizzle out there as the night goes on. And then we move into tomorrow. This is about 7 a.m. tomorrow. Some snow starts to creep in from the west, impacts portions of the western UP by the noon time frame tomorrow, and perhaps portions of West Michigan, northwest lower Michigan throughout tomorrow. And you can see some of that south-southeast flow is occurring along with some convergence on Lake Huron. So you have, if you rock it back and forth here, you can see it's kind of just sitting over there on Lake Huron. And then as the winds shift, that does move onshore. And then obviously as that low pressure system moves in, we see the snow pick up as well. And then that convergence along Lake Michigan shoreline in the vicinity of low is also shown on radar. And then this sweeps through. This is overnight into Friday. So it'll be 7 a.m. Friday, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and then onwards to about 1 in the afternoon here. So it will be done for majority of the state by about noon. It will linger into southeast Michigan, perhaps through the 3 o'clock time frame tomorrow. Sorry, Friday. Tomorrow's not Friday. And then, so that is your run for the NAM. We also have to look at the NAM 3K because that is also high res. Back it up here, see what they're saying. Again, if you notice, the low on that was pretty much over the center of Lake Michigan, which would pull a little bit more warm air advection up north and cause the totals in southeast Michigan and southern Michigan to be a little bit lower than forecasted. So again, NAM 3K run is now the model we're looking at here. You can see the lake effect snow throughout the overnight period tonight into early tomorrow morning. This is currently the noon look for tomorrow, so it looks like it's a little bit later on the NAM 3K. This would be about 4 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock, this is going to be 6 o'clock and then 7 o'clock. So this one runs really kind of far behind in comparison to the HRRR. And you'll notice that the low goes a little bit further south on the HRRR as well, which would mean a lot more cold air. More cold air advection on the north side of this. However, the totals very far north could be a little bit more reduced. This is an ideal run if you do want snow for the NAM 3K. And now my computer froze. One sec. There we go. Then we move into the evening hours or the afternoon hours tomorrow. This would be about 4 in the afternoon there, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And we could also see more lake effect again on the back side of this as well, mainly coming from north to south. So we could see portions of maybe Berrien County and central Alger, as well as the Traverse City area, see some lake effect snow very late on Friday evening. So those are your 2 mile runs for the NAM and the HRRR, and those are the high res runs short term. Putting that all together, actually, I'm going to go back real quick because I wanted to note the dendritic growth zone, which is something we look at for snow formation inside the clouds. Again, we want to see anything that's really in the purples and the pinks for the higher or the larger dendritic growth zone here. HRRR shows that right across the central Michigan area has the greatest chance for dendrites to form. If you go further down south, again, those numbers are going to be a depth of 5,000 feet, 4,000 feet, and even 3,000 feet. So that's not ideal if you want snowflakes to form. It'll be more in the form of perhaps a rain-snow mix. And you can see that dendritic growth zone kind of stays put as about 5,000 to 6,000 feet across more portions of central Michigan as the storm starts to move out of the area. So again, that's where we put up our highest confidence in a 3 to 6 zone. And speaking of that, we have our final map that you have seen probably already on our Facebook page earlier today. Again, 3 to 6 inches is our projection for most of the UP, mainly west of Newberry. You also have the ranges up there that are going to help induce some lift there. 2 to 4 elsewhere, 1 to 3 over in perhaps Sault Ste. Marie. Again, it all depends on if that banding moves up from Lake Huron. There could be some 2 to 4, maybe isolated 3 to 6 spots that could reach as far north as Sault Ste. Marie there from that banding. And then in the northern lower, most of northern lower is going to see about 3 to 6 inches of snow. Depending on where the system shifts, you could see isolated spots of just 2 to 4. And then up there near Rogers City, Presque Isle County, as well as up near Mackinac, not as confident in seeing totals greater than 3 inches. Then you look down here, downstate, Grand Rapids over to Saginaw and Bad Axe. That would be your greatest chance to see 2 to 4 inches. And then down south of that, so Lansing, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, anywhere along and south of that line, you're only going to see 1 to 3 inches, as well as that line for rain-snow mix. And then if you're unlucky or lucky enough, depending on how you see it there in Monroe County, as well as Lenawee County, you could only see trace to 2 inches in the storm. And again, we will update this if we see major trends, but this is our last call for the system tomorrow. And then obviously we added the little pink lines here for places where we could see over 6 inches of snow. With that being said, did I miss anything, Caleb?
I don't think so. I think we went over timing here. Let's go to the comments here, see if we have any questions in here. Again, looks like we have Shirley in here. Amanda's in here. Great to see you guys in here. Mike's in here. Great to see you. Julie asked, any freezing rain potential in the mixed precip areas? Not with this system. They're across southern Michigan where your lighter contours are with less snow amounts. There may be some rain that may mix in at times tomorrow, but we're not really looking at a freezing rain event with this system. More or less just some rain mixing in, reducing that snowfall totals across southeast lower Michigan, especially as we go throughout the day here tomorrow.
Summer just asked, will we be uploading a timing map and traffic map? That is likely later tonight. Again, we're going to do a lot of cooking here soon on some graphics behind the scenes for tonight. And if not tonight, it'll be released first thing tomorrow morning before you guys go to work.
Yep. We do have a $2 super chat here from Sue. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Time for snow in Flint. Flint, Michigan, looking at snow to start probably right around, probably mid-late afternoon for you, probably right around 3 o'clock is when you can start to see your first flakes there. And that'll persist throughout the afternoon into tomorrow night before slowly tapering off probably around 5 a.m. or so Friday morning, and then scattered snow showers thereafter. So
my buddy Justin, becoming a member for another month and one of our mods here on our channel. Thank you, Justin.
Welcome back. We appreciate you.
Pineapple's good on pizza. What other fruits are? Not going to answer that. I do not like fruit on my pizza, but thank you.
I'm a pineapple person. I'll go for Hawaiian pizza.
Fast forward to spring. We got a long way to go. Road conditions on Friday afternoon will likely be subpar. Again, the system is going to be kind of slow moving out, especially when we looked at the NAM, it looks like a lot slower. But again, we'll see. I would say early on Friday, they're going to be not ideal for traveling. And then it'll be kind of better if you're more further north for Friday evening. Thank you for subscribing, Katie. Appreciate it. I have another member becoming a member for another month here, Summer. Thank you for being a member for half a year now on Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube, using her free chat to say congratulations, Joel, becoming a meteorologist. Thank you very much. This is my first live stream as a meteorologist here for Michigan Storm Chasers, so appreciate you for that shout out. Glad to be part of the team officially now as a degreed meteorologist. I'll pull up the map for you guys again so you can see the totals.
Yep, right now we're expecting a widespread 3 to 6 inches for most of the entirety of the UP, except near the immediate lakeshore, where the influence of those warmer lake waters could cut back on those immediate snow totals closer to the shoreline there. And then across north central Michigan, Joel mentioned a dendritic growth zone. That's where the deepest and more favorable region for snowflakes to form. That looks to stay put across north central Michigan. That'll have your higher snow totals there. Southern Michigan, a little bit lower. And that's because we're seeing more warm air advection move in. That means I could mix some rain in at times and then reduce our snow totals. We could increase snow totals across southeast Michigan if we see a southern trend or a colder trend move into the play. That's not out of the realm of possibility. It's still in the realm of possibility. There's still some uncertainty here with this system yet. And but we will update if we see need to. So don't get your hopes totally washed out across southeast lower Michigan. There is a chance we could trend colder. We just don't have high confidence in that possibility at this time. So it is possible, though.
So I'm going to go flip it back and forth between the 2 miles here again. So I just switch it over to the NAM. You can see, again, that low pressure takes a track through Chicago, which would be super far south. And that would bring more cold air advection in for pretty much the entirety of the state. Again, like I mentioned, but less snowfall. That would mean 4 portions, probably in the east side of the UP. So if you want more snow, you're going to be rooting for this model right here, the NAM, mainly for southern Michigan, I will have to say. If you're in central Michigan, you're going to get snow no matter what, so it really doesn't matter which model you're rooting for. But again, if you're one of the viewers right now from southern Michigan, here's your HRRR. You can see the center of the low is over the central Lake Michigan. And that brings, as you can see here, a lot of warm air advection up. Again, as you can see, it's all counterclockwise flow around the low. And so it's pulling all this warm air up on the right side of your low here. And given that it is further north, again, you're going to have a lot more of that warm air kind of seeping in here on the right side of Michigan. But even though it says snow on here, it could mean mixed precipitation. So again, the models are not completely accurate what's going to happen, but that's just our meteorological knowledge at work there. So again, if you're rooting for more rain, I guess you could say you want to root for the HRRR.
I see some people here asking about timing. We'll go back to timing here. Looks like if you're on the western side of Michigan, snow will move in early tomorrow morning across portions of the UP. As you're along Lake Michigan across the western LP, snow could move in probably anytime after noon, 11 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock. You start to see that across western portions of the LP. And then central Michigan, probably around the 2 to 4 time frame. And then 5 to 6 as we move into eastern Michigan. We'll see that late tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, we're all still across the state. Still a few rain showers or wintry mix may mix in across, especially the I-94 corridor or areas south and east of that, Lenawee, Monroe counties, you especially, if that low does hold on its current trajectory.
I have a new member here on our YouTube channel, Tim. Welcome to the channel, Tim. Thank you for becoming part of the team and your support of operations here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Thank you very much. We also have Ashley back for month number 8 here at Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube, using her comment to say thank you all for everything you do for us. And thank you, Ashley, for tuning in. As always, becoming a huge supporter here, Michigan Storm Chasers. We're glad to be of support, walk you through every winter storm this winter. And again, once we get to the warm season, the thunderstorms during the summer.
Yep. Haven't missed a warning yet. So
correct. Even the snow squall warnings. We have not missed the snow squall warnings.
Correct.
So every single severe warning or tornado warning we've had this year in Michigan, we've been live for. So if you haven't followed us yet, that is your incentive to do so.
And with that being said, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in chat here. We'll get them answered for you here this evening. We'll be here for a little bit longer here, hanging out with you guys. So if you have those, feel free to put them in there.
Absolutely.
Again, we'll see. Looks like we got Nancy in here now. Amanda, Chris, thanks guys for joining us. Appreciate you as always. Here's a good question. Thanks, Crocker, for that super chat there, $9.99. Appreciate you for everything you do. Long-term question. I run an ice fishing event here for my mom's Girl Scout troop. That will be in Greenville. When do you think the best time to schedule it? I just want to guess when our best long-term cold. Yeah, we haven't really had a lot of persistent cold air to get those lakes frozen. We had some nice cold air come in early in the season, which put a nice skim of ice on a lot of our ponds, rivers, and in lakes, but not thick enough to walk on. Joel, do you want to go into long-term here? Or do you want me to start? Or
you can go in long-term if you want to.
All right. Let me. I'm going to share my screen here. Bear with me here. Mm-hmm. So really, as we go forward here, we're going to see a brief cold period here, and that's what we're going to see over the next couple of days. But following that, we're going to see what's known as a warming period. That warming trend is going to go and be with us through the end of the month and into the first week of January. But as we move into the second week of January, especially, a lot of climate models, a lot of ensemble guidance have us trending colder for the later half of January, especially after that second week of January. There's a lot of consistency there.
We could share your screen.
Yeah, let me.
It's like you're talking. I didn't see your screen pop up.
There it is.
There you go.
So these are our temperature anomalies. So anything that's above average is going to show up red. Our average temperatures this time of year are between 32, 34 degrees. So anything warmer than those temperatures are going to be red on our screen here. Anything colder is going to be blue and then green for very below average here. So here we are on Wednesday. Here's our system moving in here. There's those warmer air temperatures on the leading edge of that system. That's kind of why we're talking that we could have some rain and snow mix in. You can see the low pulling that warmer air. It's called warm advection. It's going to move that northward. As we move into the weekend, we see a brief cold shot here, slightly colder than average temperatures here. But look what happens as we move into next week. Look at all that red move into your screen here. This model, this is the American model, the GFS model, and it's hinting at temperatures being upwards of 8 to 10 degrees above average here. And this is next Tuesday here. And as we move into Christmas, here we are on Wednesday, Christmas. Look even up in Canada. Look how much deeper the red temperatures get. That's a really strong indication here that we're going to have temperatures above average for Christmas Eve and Christmas. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be really warm on Christmas. We're not really going to see 50s or 60s on Christmas. It just means we're going to be above 30, 34 degrees. So we're going to be in the mid upper 30s for a good majority of the state. That doesn't mean we're not going to have a white Christmas, but it really depends on how much snow we get over the next few days and how deep that snowpack is, and if it's going to be resistant to these warmer air temperatures or not. Right now on Christmas, the GFS have us pretty close to 10 to 8 degrees above average. Look up here in Canada, though. 35 degrees above average in some places up there. That's substantial. That's significant for that portion of the world. Even down here into the northern Dixie Alley, 23, 22 degrees above average. So very warm air mass, and this is in terms of a blocking pattern that we have here. And as we move in here closer to New Year's Eve, here we go, December 27th. We could even see some warmer air. This is where we could perhaps see a hint up close to 50 degrees. We could make a run at 50 degrees sometime between Christmas and New Year's. That's not out of the realm of possibility. And then as we move later on here, right around New Year's, the GFS wants us pretty close to 30 degrees above average, which is crazy warm. That'll put us... What's that?
Torch.
Yeah, exactly. Heat miser is coming in strong to finish the month of December. And then after that, we start to trend colder here. And really, as we move into December, this is, I'm out of range here on the GFS. But as we move here to, where's it at?
Which one are you looking for?
There we go.
CFS, yeah.
Yes, yep. So here's that warm blocking pattern that we have here. But as we move into, here's the first week of January, second week of January. See how that pattern starts to switch? These anomalies are trending at a colder pattern that'll be moving into the region. Really here throughout the month of December here, through the late month. But then look what happens here as we move into mid-December. Now, keep in mind, we are really far out here. We're about a month and a half out here. So this trend could change or wobble a little bit. But models have been really consistent at this colder pattern here coming late month. So snow lovers, there's a chance we're going to see a very active pattern here. And the pattern looks to remain through the month of January as well. So that'll bring increased chances for precipitation, including snowfall. And there's... And as we move into here, precipitation anomalies are actually quite high. We're actually trending to be very above average in terms of precipitation here through the month of January and really through this winter as a whole. And that'll keep us very wet, and that'll also help our drought situation as well. So to answer your question here, really mid-January is looking to be quite cold, and that might favor you best for ice fishing or any ice events you may have on area ponds and lakes. Give it a few weeks here. Let this colder air mass settle in. And we'll go from there. But mid to late January is trending colder.
Pull the Snowfall maps in again for those who may have just tuned in. Again, those are also posted on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers, for those who don't know it. Got the battle of the low pressure, I guess, location for this system. If it goes north, It's going to be more warm air advection in southeast lower and southern lower Michigan, which means more rain snow mix. If it goes south, that means snow for all, and you might see some of the higher end on your range that you see there. So,
yep, and then those are just some uncertainties that are still being played out. If we look to our west, winter storm warnings and weather advisories have already been issued for our neighboring states across Wisconsin, Minnesota, but they have not been issued yet for the majority of Michigan. We have some winter weather advisories issued for the UP, including a winter storm warning up there as well, I believe for maybe Menominee County up there. However, we're just waiting on some higher confidence here, and winter weather alerts will likely be issued here tonight as that confidence is gained. Whether it's a winter weather advisory or winter storm warning will just depend on where we are on the spectrum. If we're going to be on the higher end, maybe a few winter storm warnings are possible, but more than likely, I expect winter weather advisories to be issued here overnight tonight.
Go to our hazard map here. Take a look at it.
Yep. And there's your live map. There's your current winter storm warnings there in purple or in pink, and your winter weather advisories there in purple. And right now, currently, there are no alerts for the LP of Michigan. Right now, they do all reside for the UP of Michigan there. You can see the winter weather advisories there in purple and one winter storm warning there in pink. But I do expect to see more of those issued here as we go through the night here tonight.
Yeah, at the very least, some winter weather advisories.
Yep.
This winter storm warning is just in effect for Menominee County, where they're predicting 4 to 6 inches possible, with locally higher amounts possible of 6 to 8 inches. And this is in effect from 9 a.m. Thursday Central Time to 9 a.m. Friday Central Time. Again, Menominee County is in Central Time. Keep that in mind. Travel could be difficult. Hazardous conditions could impact Thursday morning and evening commutes. Another good reminder here from the National Weather Service: if you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, some food and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency, and also prepare for possible power outages across the region. I also did mention in our post earlier today of that snowfall map, I put in the description that we could see some winds up to 30 miles per hour, mainly in the vicinity of the low, so mainly along Lake Michigan, perhaps by tomorrow evening. So
the good news is, though, our temperatures are going to be right around 32 degrees. So it'll be a little bit warmer across the LP. That'll help mitigate a little bit less of a drifting and blowing, but we still could have reduced visibilities and some blowing snow perhaps closer to the low, especially on the backside as temperatures begin to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be a good packing snow, though, for a lot of us. Should be good snowman making snow, too, if you're lucky enough to get that accumulation. So
there's your probability of snow from the WPC, at least. Wow, this is very touchy. Zoom that out here. For the entire state, anywhere where you have the dark blue or higher is going to be a 40 to 50% chance or greater of 2 inches of snow. So those in Southeast Michigan right now, not looking too hot, but it's a good sign if you don't want snow.
But if that low does actually track this to the south just a little bit, do expect to see those totals increase for Southeast Lower Michigan, including Monroe and Lenawee counties. Although at this time we're not expecting that, it is still in the realm of possibility that this low could deviate just a little bit, as we saw the spread there between the two models, between the NAM and the HRRR. There is a little bit of spread there. So it is still possible that you guys could see maybe an extra inch or two if you're lucky, if we get that southward trend across Southeast Lower Michigan. So we'll just have to see. But it is possible. Yeah, for those of you just joining in here, we'll go back to the timing of this event here. So Snowfall is looking to come into the state early tomorrow morning. Across the UP, it'll be ongoing mid-morning. Across the western portions of the LP, anytime after 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning, that snow will start crossing Lake Michigan and into the majority of the LP of Michigan here by mid-afternoon. Across eastern Michigan over towards Flint, Detroit, looking at those areas tomorrow afternoon, probably after 4 o'clock. and then that snow will progress overnight tomorrow before tapering off by Friday morning. Probably the majority of the snow will be out of here by midday Friday, leaving behind scattered snow showers for the remainder of the day and perhaps some lake effect snow thereof as well. So as this system continues off to the south and east. But it should be out of here completely by tomorrow evening. Yep, and this is what is known as a clipper system. This low pressure originated in Canada. That's how it gets its name, from Alberta. Alberta Clippers. It's actually a fun fact for you. They're actually named after a sailing vessel in the early 1800s known as a clipper ship. They were fast and small, and that's how these systems got their names. So there you go. Little Monday night teaser there for you, or Wednesday night teaser there for you.
It's a pretty deep dendritic growth zone there.
Yeah, so what Joel is looking at here, this is what's called a sounding. This is basically, think of it like cutting a vertical slice in the atmosphere. It allows us to look at the ground all the way up to the top of the troposphere. This allows us to see things like humidity and temperature and how they change with height as we go up in the atmosphere. And it allows us to see where our growth zone is, or he mentioned our dendritic growth zone. That's where our snowflakes can grow the largest, where our heaviest snow will be. Soundings like this help us look at that. And it's a great tool to use even for severe weather as well, on how the ingredients are coming together at different levels of the atmosphere. So it's a tool that we use there. Your green line there, that's your moisture, that's your dew point, and the red line there is your temperature. So
I'm gonna see if I can find one that. Oh, they don't have DGZ on the NAM. I just realized that.
They do not, no.
It's all right. See if I can find a deeper one, because the one I just showed you was about 5,000 feet, which is all right.
Yeah. And don't worry, there's no pop quiz for memorizing that at all. That's just a tool that we use here, and it helps us out with forecasting immensely. So,
yeah.
In the meantime, here, let's go to some questions here. Devin asked, what are lake temperatures like? Could we have lake effect snow in January? Absolutely. Going in the fall here, we had a very, very warm fall. And as a result, our lake waters are still running above average. Right now in Lake Michigan, a lot of our waters are in the 40s to perhaps even low 50s in places as well. And that warm water is deep too. So that'll help slow down ice accretion on the lakes, therefore keeping them wide open for business as we move into January. Less ice means more potential for lake effect snow, and warmer waters means more intense lake effect snow deeper into winter as well. As we have that temperature difference between our low pressure systems and the warm lake water, that really helps create robust lake effect snow. So yeah, I expect lake effect snow to persist well into winter. Christy has chance of a snow day for Friday, Ottawa County. It's a chance. A lot of the snow will be on the lighter side. Perhaps another thing too is for Friday, given that the snow system is going to be out of here Friday night, that should help give the snowplows time to clear off some roads here too. Still a chance, depending on where you are and depending on your school board's policies. But hopefully we get the roads cleared and we won't have to worry about that. Tony said, so that probably means the permacloud persists as well. Unfortunately, it does. Yeah, winter is actually our cloudiest time of year across the entire Midwest, not just the state of Michigan. However, Michigan is notorious. We're actually famous for our permacloud, and a lot of that has to do with our Great Lakes as well. So just as they help create a lot of lake effect snow, they can also enhance our cloud cover as well in wintertime. So
permacloud also keeps us slightly warmer than everyone else.
That is true. They will insulate us as well. So that's one good thing. Although we can't see the moon or aurora like we used to see in the summertime, they do keep us warm like a blanket. So it's a plus and minus. It's a give and take.
A quick plug, real quick, if I may. Again, you obviously have the main map here that we've shown to you guys multiple times already today. But if you guys are looking for something that might be a little more zoomed in, perhaps we do offer on our Patreon that's linked at the top of the screen there, county warning area type snowfall prediction maps. It's basically the same map that you see here, but it's broken down into sections of the state. So if you're having a tough time maybe seeing some of where these cities are on your map, or maybe if your cities or where you're located is underneath like a city icon, again, we do offer those on our Patreon. Again, linked at the top of the screen. You can just type in patreon.com/Michigan Storm Chasers. And again, it is a paid membership, but again, it goes and helps operation costs here at Michigan Storm Chasers. And it's something we give back to you in exchange for supporting us. So, for example, we do have West Michigan, we have Southeast Michigan, and then Northern Lower, and then obviously the entirety of the UP as their own little section. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. Can we just color the 2 to 4 range dark blue? No. If there's more confidence, yes, but less confident right now for Grand Rapids, especially that southern belt that you see there at Grand Rapids over to Tri-Cities, Flint area.
One of these days, we'll get a big synoptic system, and hopefully we'll coat the state dark blue for you if you want. We just need to get one of those systems. We haven't had one yet.
Right. And we have other colors to use, Caleb. We haven't even tapped into the pink or the maroon. So
that is true. Those are reserved for special occasions.
Yes.
We have the trash can window meter out, but do we need to have one for snowfall, such as the buried trash can, or where is my trash can? Oh, you have to dig it out. Put your comments in there. Maybe we'll have to do that. Trash cans is a universal measuring tool now. Everyone's going to know how windy it is based on the trash can. How deep is the snow based on the trash can? We'll use it for everything.
Mm-hmm. Pink and maroon would be like, it'd be subject to whatever we feel. So it's not like a fixed number. Right. You'd probably see that for any like an 8 to 12, or maybe if there's more ranges, and maybe like a 10 to 14, 12 to 18. That would usually mainly be for the bigger lake effect snow events that we've seen so far this year. Again, this is our first time using this color scale since we just went over the graph. We made new graphic packages this week. Now that I'm part of the team officially, and so what we did was we made pink and maroon the top ones, and you'll see them for example, like the UP, if like they get all that orographic or the orographic lifting up there with the UP or those bands off the lake. So if it makes sense, there you go.
Yep. They'll be used for higher confidence events or higher amount events as well, especially those lake effect bands, which we all know can dump in excess of 2 inches per hour, as we've seen here this year. So they may come out this winter, they may not. We'll just have to see what flavor we get when those systems arrive. So
I like that word, flavor.
Every system has a different flavor. Any squalls tomorrow? Asked Summer. No, I'm not too worried about snow squalls tomorrow. This is what we call synoptic snow, which is a widespread snow. This is derived from a low pressure system known as a clipper. So as this moves in, snowfall is going to be pretty persistent and consistent across the entirety of the LP in Michigan. Snowfall rates are not really going to vary from one point to another. A lot of it comes down to duration. How long is it going to snow at a given location to get our snowfall totals? Now, we could have some heavier lake-enhanced snowfall right along the immediate shore of Lake Michigan and even across Lake Huron, across northeast Michigan as well. We could have some heavier snow bands, but snow squalls are not expected with this system like we've seen during the last two systems over the past couple of weeks. So not with this system. This one does not have the dynamics to really support a snow squall of that nature. So good news here with this system. And that also means thunder snow is not likely with this system as well. We do not have the upper level support to support thunder snow, or at least it's unlikely with this system.
Now I want to go check the Cape. See if there's any in there. Any? Not really. Anything that's lower. It's lower than like 100, so it's not going to do anything. Sorry, guys. No thunder snow.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Devin said, I don't remember ever seeing snow squalls before this year. The first one we had caused damage to our trailer. Yeah, they really don't occur all that often. The one we saw a couple weeks ago, that was really a rare occurrence. It took everything coming together just at the right time and the right amounts. Just as we talk about our severe weather ingredients, those ingredients all came together for a winter scenario to make that snow squall possible. So they don't happen very often, but when they do, they can be quite nasty, as we saw a couple weeks ago. So thankfully, we don't see them very often.
Right. And they just came out with the term a snow squall warning, like not even like 5 years ago, I think. So
yeah, 2019, I think.
Yeah, those are definitely more new. So you'll hear about it more often now that they can issue warnings. And again, they only issue warnings in the state of Michigan for the DTX county warning area. Again, since lake effect snow is less common over there, they're more inclined to use that warning. Whereas West Michigan, Northern Michigan, UP, it's just normal lake effect. So, or it's squalls fed by lake effect, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Thank you, Tricia, for the congratulations. Appreciate it. And for those who do not know, I am officially a meteorologist now and working here at Michigan Storm Chasers full time. So,
woo!
It's exciting.
We're glad to have you.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to be here. Ooh, good question here. How many degrees tomorrow in terms of temperature? We'll go look at temperature real quick and find it. Temperatures again tomorrow are going to be mainly in the mid-20s, a little bit colder if you go into the UP. It also depends on where the low sets up. Stop looping. Thank you. Again, the NAM, if it goes further south, again, we might not even hit 31, 32 anywhere in the state. It's still possible, though, mainly along the lakes, especially Lake Erie. And then you do have a warm-up on Friday, though. But again, looks like for the majority of the day on Thursday, your temperatures are going to be in the mid to high 20s, which would result in some wet, heavy flakes. I mixed up the letters on that for the day on a Thursday and even on Friday. So,
all right, here, guys. Any questions you guys have, feel free to put them in here. For those of you just joining here before we hop off, I'll give you guys a quick rundown, a brief review here. So we're watching a Clipper system that'll move into the area tomorrow, starting in the western UP tomorrow morning. That'll then move across Lake Michigan around 11 o'clock to noon, and then it'll slowly move over the entire state of Michigan by mid-afternoon. So by mid-afternoon tomorrow, a lot of us will be seeing snowflakes, and then by late afternoon, the entire state will be seeing some snowflakes, and then the Clipper system is expected to continue tomorrow night before moving out by tomorrow morning. Probably around lunchtime tomorrow, the majority of this system will be out of here, with the exception of southeast lower Michigan. After that, lake effect snow will persist, and a few scattered snow showers likely for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So if you guys are out on the roads tomorrow, do be cautious. Do expect them to be snow covered for the majority of the state. So do slow down, increase your following distance. We're in Michigan. We all know how to drive in snow, right? So hopefully. Hopefully do treat that with caution. So, and we will have travel maps updated for you. We're going to work on those here tonight, and we will have those published for you for what we think travel conditions will be like here tomorrow. So we will have those available for you. And again, if you guys miss anything or have any other questions, feel free to go back to the beginning of this video. We covered timing, duration, long-term, and all that will be in here for you. And again, I really want to thank you guys here for joining us and hanging out with us here this evening. It's a pleasure to be able to hang out with you guys and talk weather. It's always a blast. So again, thank you guys for joining us here. And I'll go back to Joel here to see if he has anything else to add here.
Nope. The only thing that we just have to go over here real quick is our shout outs to our sponsors. Again, we have 3 of them who help also keep operations funded here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So we have 3 different companies here. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Potterville, Michigan. Again, anything roofing and siding, you can call them if you are in the Lansing area. It is 517-485-9886. You also have Storm Guard Roofing Construction based out of the Metro Detroit area. Specializes in some of the same things there. Phone number there on the screen, 248-985-3239. And as always, we have Lifestyle Exteriors, one of our newer sponsors here, based out of Traverse City, but covers a lot of Central Michigan, 989-854-3055. And again, if you want to become a sponsor here at Michigan Storm Chasers, that email is contact@michiganstormchasers.com. As Caleb also mentioned here, if you want to go back and see any of the information on your screen, including like the models and stuff like that, you can go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Again, all of our videos are archived, and you come back and watch them at any time you want. The channel name is at MI Storm Chasers. Or if you just type in Michigan Storm Chasers on YouTube, you'll find it that way. And then obviously, if you haven't checked out our merch store yet, that is available at holisty.co. Again, all proceeds go right back to us in funding some of our operations here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So thank you guys for supporting. Other than that, I think that is it. Again, we'll throw the map up here on the screen one more time. Again, 3 to 6 inches projected for most of central and northern lower, as well as majority of the UP to the west of Newberry. 2 to 4 for the Grand Rapids, Lansing, Ithaca, over towards the Tri-Cities area, Midland, Saginaw, and even up towards Tuscola County, Sanilac County, and Bad Axe. And then you also have the potential for some rain snow mix down there in southern Michigan, 1 to 3 inches. Otherwise, trace to 2 if you live in Monroe and perhaps Lenawee County down there. So again, southeast Michigan, it might not be your turn yet, but at some point this winter, maybe you'll get more than just a dusting. So we'll see. Again, this map for you is provided on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers. Go check that out if you don't follow us on Facebook. But other than that, looking through any of the comments here again, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. This is System 2. Well, System 1 was today, Megan. So that was the trace to 1 inch for majority of the state. A lot of the state didn't even see snow today. The rest of it's just kind of lake effect up there in Gaylord area as well as central UP. So yeah, this is System number 2 officially for the week, and then we'll track more to come in the weeks to come, including some warm weather. So with that being said, I think I got everything here. I know Ryan's hiding behind the scenes here. I don't know if he needs me to say anything else. Bring him in. There he is. I don't think I missed anything. So we're going to go ahead and log off for the night. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button either on Facebook or YouTube or both. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the follow button or subscribe button, depending on what platform you're listening on. We are here for you 365 days a year. That is especially true now that we're in full-time operations. So any way you like, subscribe, share the stream, that all helps us with engagement. So feel free to do that. But with that being said, we'll be around later tonight, releasing more timing maps and other forecast maps, such as traffic maps for the page. So again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Caleb, do you have anything else to say?
I don't thank you again. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Much appreciated of everyone here willing to spend their evening with us. Much appreciated. I wish everyone a happy evening and safe travels tomorrow. And for those snow lovers, hopefully we see some snow here tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, guys. You guys have a safe day tomorrow, and a safe day on a Friday. And we'll catch you around. Have a good evening, everyone.
We'll see you.